Hello everyone and welcome to the Round 3 Lgchl Predictions Show. I am your host and GM of the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds B Major, and with us today we have Ottawa 67's General Manager Marino Swag.
What's up, everyone?
Kitchener Rangers General Manager CCAT 12 Fan 26.
Hey.
Peterborough GM Darth.
What's up, guys?
AGM of Niagara Rolston.
How's it going?
And not here right now, but is here. We have GM of Niagara, Only Simpson.
It doesn't matter.
But anyways, today we are going to be touching up on the OHL. I also wanted to say this for anyone here watching from the queue. I know there were some questions why we don't do the queue. It's because we don't really know much about it necessarily, so it's kind of hard for us to judge it. And we don't want to judge a series inaccurately without knowing anything about it, and then this shit comes into other shit. So we just don't want to worry about anything like being on.
And we also don't have time to watch every stream, so.
And we don't have time to watch like every stream as well. But anyways, we're gonna get right into this. First series of round 2, Barrie versus Kingston. Kingston took an easy series versus Barrie in 4-0, getting the sweep. Scores, a lot of them, some being close, some being pretty much blowouts. Game 1 was 8-0 Kingston, Game 2 5-4 Kingston, Game 3 6-2 Kingston, and Game 4 was 4-3 Kingston. So what did you guys think of this series? Darth, we'll start this one with you.
Honestly, I already knew Kingston was gonna win. Barrie had a team, but it was a one-line team. Just like people said my team was a one-line team, it's true. Barrie was a one-line team. Midi was their team. End of the story.
The Midi Colts.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Simpson, what did you think of it, man? Like, honestly, a lot of people thought that really was Barrie, and Kingston took control of it.
Well, honestly, that was horrible line matching by Bovey. Like, why is Midi playing center when everybody knows Midi can't play center?
Because Midi, I can explain this. I was at a party with the Midi pretty much told Bogey that he was an all-star on the draw, and that he would wreck everybody, and then he tried him out, and then that didn't really go well.
I knew Kingston was going to win that series. I think after Barrie went to Game 7 and beat North Bay, they got a bit cocky, and that's all I got to say about that one.
Shout out to Minnie, by the way. Minnie's a real good dude for anyone who's not met him. But, Marino, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, I have to go back to the line matching. Kingston really did a good job of line matching and putting out lines that would be able to match up against Barrie, especially that Game 1. You set the tone with an 8-0 win. It's huge for a series against a team that just beat the #1 seed. So I think they extinguished the fire of the Barrie Colts and their momentum going into the next series, and it really shows that after that 8-0 loss, they weren't able to get anything going.
Well, Finn?
Well, I mean, a battle of 8th seed versus a 2nd seed. You think Barrie would come out and give these guys something, but it just didn't happen. I don't think there was much of a, I think they threw themselves out of this one, honestly, with the way it worked. And like you were saying, Midi at center and all this different stuff and the variables that we're talking about. I mean, it easily sets the tone for what Kingston is going to expect from a Barrie squad like this, going up 8-0. Like, if you're going to get beat by that much, I mean, really, you might be kicking a dead horse earlier than you think. And then, I mean, Game 2, they were able to recover, but it just wasn't enough by a 1-goal game, but that was still a good effort. Game 4 was the same way, but it was still a good effort. Game 3, that one just went out the door as well for Barrie. I don't know if it was because of the defense, the goaltending. It just seems that, that Barrie fell apart a lot in this series and just didn't want to advance. Simple as that. You gotta want it.
Ralston, last but not least, what did you think of this one?
Honestly, I really found it to be a huge surprise to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kingston's great, and I honestly thought Barry was going to put way more of a fight into the series than they did. I guess it really does have to come back to not matching up the right lines and I guess taking someone by their word saying that they're a beast when obviously they're a better scorer than they are a face-off winner. Um, literally, I give very much congratulations and props to Kingston for literally just doing what a lot of us knew they could do and just, you know, take out Barry. Honestly, I'm surprised though it was in 4. I really did. I predicted last week it was going to be in 6, but you know, anything can happen, I guess.
Alright, now we will move on to the next series. The two GMs actually here on this series, if they would like to speak of it. Peterborough and Ottawa. Ottawa taking series 4-2. In case no one knows, apparently there was a rule kind of thing that made it go to 7, and Peterborough, the classy team that they are, decided that they were refusing to play that game 7 and gave Ottawa back the win. And I'm gonna let you guys speak on that series because it's pretty much it's not rare often that we have both GMs here of one series. So I'm gonna let you guys take it home. And I think Darth is the one we got hit first up with this one.
Yeah. Well, one thing I have to say for sure about Ottawa that's Kingston's going to struggle with is their team is so well balanced. It's like you're playing 3 first lines on the ice. It's honestly ridiculous. Like going to that series, I didn't really play Ottawa much during the regular season. I had no idea how even out their team was in general. It honestly all around there's a solid team. And Marino, great job, dude. Give you that. Solid team. No word to lie.
Thank you.
Marino?
Was a really great series. Kind of sucks that the end of it had to go the way it did. I think it took away from how great the series was. I guess I should probably elaborate on what happened with that rule.
Yeah.
I actually had A1 Dirty was an ECU who I played in Game 5, who actually wasn't even supposed to play. Burnout was supposed to play, another ECU of mine, a teammate way back in Albany. So he was supposed to play, was having connection issues all night, wasn't able to stay in a period, let alone a whole game. So I go through my TC, and I know A1 Dirty. A1 Dirty was a teammate of mine in the AHL in like season 19 in Rochester. So I already had him on my friends list, knew he was on my TC, and sent him a quick message. It was like 5 minutes before the game, so he said he was in the play. He was on my TC. He was sent down to me 3 to 4 weeks ago, I think. So I didn't think anything of it, the website sent him down. No Bog, Zeno, nobody corrected anything. He was sent down. Apparently he wasn't supposed to be sent down at all. He somehow made it through the system, and the website glitched and let him down. So we won Game 5, we won Game 6, and next day I wake up to Zeno sending me a message that due to the website fucking up, he was sent down, and they got to overturn the game. So luckily, Maldini works late night shift, so at 1 in the morning, him and Zeno are going back and forth. What ended up happening was they allowed the Petes to replay Game 5 if they wanted to, but at that point, they already made the decision they weren't going to play Game 7. So when they said that they can replay the Game 5, they also declined playing Game 5, which I thought was probably the classiest thing that the CHL or LG at all will probably ever see. That was by far the classiest thing I've ever seen in the 5-6 seasons I've been around. So Darth, to you and your team and your managers over there, that's absolutely unreal. I got like maybe 2 messages from your guys saying that you guys were doing that, and I honestly couldn't believe it. So big props to you.
Well, it's just the right decision. There's
really
no effect
on
of the play. Yeah, there was really no effect on it anyways. Like it was a 7-2 game or something like that. It was a blowout. Like the player didn't make a difference, and we didn't. You guys deserved the win as it was. So we just felt like there was no need to play at all.
Anybody else? What did you guys think of this?
I mean, I just think it was real, like I said, real classy on the Pete, man. That was just, no understanding the situation, understanding whatever happened, and understanding that they got beat. There are a lot of teams out there just be like, fuck that, dude. I want that turn overturned, and let's play again. So.
Wilson?
All right. Well, I'm gonna take away from all the drama behind the series. Obviously, I mean, Darth. Kudos to you for being able to step up and say that you guys declined and let the series move on. It's not easy for a manager to do. But anyways, let's get to the stats point of this. I mean, obviously that's what I'm here for. For the most part, what I want to do. Anyways, game one team. This honestly was my series that I actually wanted to watch and see how it went. Details wise, I think this was going to be the best series of round two, in my clear opinion. Many could say different, but this is mine, in my opinion. Game one, clearly both teams are giving each other a good, taste of what's to come. So that was a one-goal game, which made it pretty good. Game two, I mean, Pete's fell off. I don't know if it was a defensive issue that night, or maybe Darth, we had you play an LGBA game with us that didn't go too well.
It was just, it was like I said, they have three first lines, and that was my third line playing, and it just shows to go how good of a team they are.
Yeah. Well, it does show that defensively, or somewhere in there's a bit of a hole from that game that Peterborough had to try to overcome. But I mean, Peterborough came back that Tuesday night and went 2-0 on the night in games 3 and 4, and made the series interesting from there. Although it was a high-scoring game 4, as I saw a little bit of it, as you guys are going back and forth in the scoring category from time to time. That was very interesting to see a high score. Maybe goaltending or something like that. But then game 5, it was 1-0. I'm not sure if this was.
That was the forfeit game that we didn't play.
Oh, okay, so that one's not okay.
That was the 6-7-2 finish.
Yeah. Oh, it was 7-2. Okay.
Yeah, that was 4 ECUs. It was horrible. That was a bad game.
Anyways, game 6, another one-goal game that ended. At least you're ending it on a competitive way. In my view, I mean, that's what I said to my teammates at the end of the series versus London, is at least we went out in a one-goal game and it was competitive in the process. I think this was a decent way to go out. Even though Euro couldn't unfortunately convert on game 6, but in my opinion, both these teams were, I thought, suited pretty well for this matchup. But congrats to Ottawa in the end.
All right, Wilson.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I felt like, I thought last week that this was going to be like the series to watch, and I guess it ended up actually being the series to watch because it was only one that actually went, 6 games. So, I mean, both teams I feel like both teams had a chance to win the series, and it just be that this, Ottawa was the better team and brought it every night, and I mean, the Pete's going out and not allowing the system to control what the outcome of the series was going to be, and I mean, props to them, and good luck to Ottawa in the next series.
All right, so we're going to move on to the Western Conference.
I have one quick thing to say about that series. In that series, that was like the series of that round, and the goal of the season is most likely in that series. The Pauly Chunks goal. That's all I gotta say about that. That series is gonna be remembered.
That Pauly Chunks line.
That was my line. That was my.
That Pauly Chunks line, I think, is one of the best lines in the CHL.
Definitely.
Oh wait, they went undefeated until we played Kingston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think you really did a good job with that line, especially that it's hard to match up against him. He's such a smart player and very talented on the sticks.
Well, yeah, like, who else is gonna pull a jump deke in a league game? Like, I wouldn't even expect that.
Hmm.
Alright, so now we'll move on to the Western Conference side of things. Sault Ste. Marie versus London. London wins the series 4-1 and 5. The scores of that series being in Game 1, London manhandling the Greyhounds 1-11. Game 2, London winning 4-2. Game 3, Sault Ste. Marie won 8-7. Game 4 was an 8-1 London win, and Game 5 was a 3-5 London win as well. But before anyone else says anything, I do want to give a huge shout out to my team, the Sault Ste. Marie. It was a great season. Probably the best team I've ever had in my 4 seasons managing, even though I wasn't able to really be around as much as I liked with all the shit that I had going on. You guys definitely made a bit of a bleak time a bright one for me. Shout out to Body, Frag, all the guys that were on the team. The TCs that showed up even though they didn't get the playing time they could have really wanted, but they still showed up every night when we needed them. Just everybody on Sault Ste. Marie that came all season, was committed, and showed up when they needed to, and I just appreciate them on a great season. Want to give them a shout out. For the Cribs Runners in London on a great series, and being really easy to communicate with, and being really sportsmanlike throughout the whole thing. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, because I felt that was something I needed to say. Ralston, we're going to go ahead and start with you. What did you think of this?
Honestly, to me, this series just showed how great a team London is and how dominant of a team they are. I mean, they come out in Game 1 and just no offense, but they were your daddies and spanked you like you were one long stepchild. I mean, you can't say anything against that. I mean, besides Game 3, I don't really felt like they were all that close.
Game 2 and Game 5 were 2 cool games, which isn't really too bad.
Yeah.
The games that really took us out was Game 1 and Game 4. Game 1 we had our defensive line that we were starting that game both didn't show up and didn't tell us their availability until we had tapped the lines. And in Game 4 and 1, to be honest, they just completely outplayed us. To be honest, there's no excuses for it. Like you said, London's a solid team. They just outplayed us. They spanked us, honestly.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like London to me, is if going into the next, if I don't see him in the final, like the yeah, if I don't
The
see him in
conference finals.
yeah, if I don't see him in the conference, I'm gonna be really surprised if they don't make it out of the next round. I really am gonna be hugely surprised, because it can be there's proven right there that they can steamroll someone on any given day, and if that happens, more than once, I don't see teams being able to really bounce back from that.
Well, Phil?
This SSM London series,
Mhm.
clearly, battle of the fourth and first seed. London obviously coming off a 4-0 series versus us, unfortunately. This one, SSM was able to snag a win out of it in Game 3. But a lot of momentum was on London's side in this one, honestly. You can see that there's a huge difference in Game 1 and Game 4, where they were just getting scored on consistently. It was just, I'm not going to go too deeper. But anyways, Game 2 and Game 5 were probably the better games, and of course Game 3's got to be your best game when you get that win. That one win that at least gives you something to go out on for this round. But yeah, tough way to end the season for SSM for sure.
Marino?
I honestly thought you guys had a good series. Besides your Game 1 of 11-1, you kept it and your Game 4 of 8-1 and 11-1. You kept it pretty close. You got a 2-goal game in Game 2. You get a 1-goal win in Game 3 and another 2-goal game in Game 5. Definitely kept it close. I think if you might have gotten a couple EA bounces, the series definitely could have been better for you. Definitely closer than I would have predicted. I would have thought that with all three of their lines, I thought it would have been a lot worse, especially the way they've been playing in the playoffs. They haven't really had, a big challenge yet.
Muffins.
So a big shout out to you guys over at St. Marie. You guys
What
really
kind
did
of
a good
muffins?
job over there in this round. But at the end of the day, the better team won.
Josh, you're awesome.
Dorf, what do you think of this one?
Well, honestly, I watched the Game 3, and out of all the games, Game 3 to me was your guys' best games. You guys were down, what was it, I think 6 something?
We were
Something
down
like
6-2 at the
Yeah,
at
and
the end of the
you came back, and you guys fought back, and you ended up getting the W. It was a well hard fought game by your team. Other than that, in my eyes, London just dominated this series, and with the trouble you had with people not showing and stuff, it just added on to the massacre that London was putting on in this playoffs.
Yeah, we have 3 defensemen that either no-showed or put in late availability,
And
which kind of hurts too.
And just like Austin was saying, if London doesn't pass it to the in all honesty, London is my finals team. London is going and playing against the Q for us, in my eyes. They're honestly unstoppable in those playoffs. So huge shout out to Cribs for sure for building it. It's a well-rounded playoff team.
Alright, last but not least, Simpson.
That's just a tough draw, man. London's solid all around. Cribs is actually real. Cribs built a really good team, and good job coming from behind and getting that win. But I mean, London's just so good, all at every position, and there's not much you can say about London, man.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, a huge shout out to London. Solid team. Even though the series scored unreflected, it was a good series. Really easy team to communicate with. Really sportsmanlike team, and best of luck to them going on. Mad respect for the guys over there. But anyways, on to our final series. This one was a bit of a surprise to I think a lot of people on the end of it. Flint sweeping Saginaw in very. Well, Simpson, you didn't call a sweep. I don't think anyone called a sweep.
I didn't call a sweep, but I called it a series.
Nobody called sweep for any of these.
No one called sweep. Realistically, I don't think anyone expects that. I don't think anybody expects them to dominate like that. Them winning the series wasn't necessarily a surprise. But them to put a sweep against Saginaw, who's been dominant all season, Simpson, you've been an advocate of not London, but Flint. So I'm gonna start with you here.
I keep saying it, and I'm gonna keep saying it, and call me the conductor of this train, man. But their defense is what is winning them games. They're not blowing out any. I don't think they've blown out other than 12-5 against Sarnia. They haven't. All their games have been close. Their defense is what is winning them games.
Oh yeah,
and I mean that's just. That's all it comes down to is their defense is winning them games. And I'm going to say this before we go ahead and go on. London just needs to shut the fuck... Or not London. Flint needs to shut the fuck up and quit talking shit. Play hockey. Your play... On the ice right now is showing that y'all can win games against solid teams. This next series, you're just going to have to shut the fuck up and play.
I think this is probably the biggest challenge for both of these teams. Honestly, Flint, London is going to be playing a very solid defense in Flint, and Flint's going to be playing probably the toughest offense they will have to play all season. Honestly, we'll get into that later, but that series is going to be a tale of two. Finn, what did you think of the Flint-Saginaw one?
Flint-Saginaw, I mean, Flint just had him. I think this is the low-scoring series, and you had to have your Saginaw. You really wanted to try to get as many wins as you could, I guess. Even though they were the better seed in this one, Flint being able to pull off a upset on these guys, it's really huge. But I think this next round, If you really want to go to the Memorial Cup final versus a select Q team, you gotta want it. You gotta want it, plain and simple. If you don't focus in this next series, it's gonna break your team completely. This is what teams have been fighting for this whole season, to at least get to this point and go farther. I think that if you decided to call it all jokes and talking smack on the forums, you're clearly wrong at this point. If you're going to keep doing that in this next series, you're just a plain joke. You need to focus up for this next series. If you're Flint, you're playing London, you need to focus up. It's plain and simple. And if you can't do that, you're going home. So,
Marino, what is it then?
yeah, plain
I
and
was honestly surprised by this series. I would have thought. I actually think I picked Saginaw to win in 7. Definitely wasn't the case. Was a very low-scoring series. There was never any doors blown off in this series, offensive-wise. Another thing I was very surprised about was, a guy I've been talking about lately with Saginaw, with Rowdy moving up to forward for the playoffs. Only played one game, had a -3 and one shot all game, no points. Definitely thought he would have been a big factor with the offense to help them, win games, but definitely wasn't the case. Shout out to Flint though, big sweep against a very good team.
Darth, what did you think?
On this series, honestly, I was
Flint
shocked.
Saginaw.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was on the last show. I didn't have my prediction, but I honestly thought Puck Stopper season was over. I thought Saginaw had this in like 5 or 6, maybe, and just shows to go what teams have the mindset for the playoffs and what teams don't.
Yeah,
Simple as that.
Yeah, and honestly, both of these two teams, like I said, Flint had a very high-powered offense. I was saying all season that Saginaw had one of the better offenses, and I thought that maybe that'd be a good challenge for Flint's defense. And the fact that the games weren't necessarily blowouts or anything like that, but the fact that they were able to literally pull out the wins in 4 games just astonished me, to be honest. Marino, have you touched on this one yet at all?
Yeah.
I think Rolston hasn't.
Yeah, Rolston, have you touched on it at all?
No, I haven't yet.
Yeah, what did you think of this one, man?
I mean, I'm really surprised that it ended up being a sweep. But like I said last show, and I believe that's exactly what Flint did. I said the defense is there, but defense isn't going to win you everything. It's going to help you get there, but you need your offense to step up. And I feel that their offense did step up and showed up to because I said if their offense didn't show up, there's no way Flint was winning this series. They obviously showed up. They gave it to Saginaw in all 3 areas, and we're moving on to take on London.
Okay.
But like other people are saying, I really feel like they need to just not stay on your heel. Basically, they need to stay on their heels and keep pushing forward the way they did in this series into the next one, and not just basically be like, okay, we got through that. We just don't do what Barry did.
Don't get too cocky.
Yeah, don't get too cocky, and just play what you need to do.
Alright, so I think we're ready to move on to round 3 then. Unless anybody else has anything else to touch on.
Round 3 it is.
Alright, round 3, our Eastern Conference matchup will be the Kingston Frontenacs versus the Ottawa 67s. This is definitely going to be a good series. I look at the board here. The 2 rosters, they're just about as evenly matched as you can get. Marito, I'm assuming you don't want to speak on this series.
I'll say one thing. I think the series is actually going to be a really good series. And if you asked me before the end of the 67s and Pete series, if what series would be better if we went forward, us and Kingston or London and Flint. I would have thought the better series to watch would have been London and Flint. But I think with all the recent things that's happened in the past 24 to 48 hours, definitely a lot of jawing going back between the 67s and Kingston. I definitely think this is the series to watch now. I think the LG community will probably be watching this series a lot more, and I think that's awesome. I think the exposure for this series is high, and I think it's going to be a fun watch.
All right, we're gonna give it over to Wolfson to predict this one first. What do you think of this one? Like I said, it just kind of seems even around the board.
I really think it is going to be I thought this second round was going to be a really good, playoff round, but it looks like the conference finals is going to just basically be the best, probably not counting the finals itself. It's really hard to say. I think both teams have something to prove, and that they both definitely want to move on. I really don't know how, comparing is really hard for me, looking at both teams, but I feel like whoever comes out from the gate might be able to take the series, strike early and not let up, and it might just be a quick series, not like in sweeper 5 games, but I say at least goes to 6.
You got a winner?
That's the hard one. I feel it's going to be in 6, and I really want to give this one to Kingston just because I think they can do it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be surprised if Ottawa does it. I'm not gonna be surprised if Ottawa comes through and beats Kingston in this series.
Simpson.
Man, this is gonna be probably one of the best series we're gonna see during the playoffs. Both teams are, solid from the net up. This is going to be a series. I don't think it's going to be very high scoring. I think it's going to be low scoring, and it's going to be good. Marino, you've built a great team. Audacity's built a great team. I think this one goes 7. I really do. And I'm going to go with the 67s on this one. I'm going to pick Ottawa in 7.
I'm actually going to go ahead and say my predictions, and something that I think everybody really needs to look out for. 2 goalies, a goalie battle in this one between Go Eels 2 and Immortal BMW. Both pretty well known around the league, both have been really impressive during the season. I don't think this is going to be really high scoring either. I think this is going to be coming down to defense and goaltending on who can be able to keep chances low. And to be honest, I really think that if Ottawa can keep doing what they've been doing against Peterborough, against Sudbury, I really think that Ottawa might be able to catch Kingston sleeping in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Ottawa wins this one in Game 7. Darth, what do you think?
Honestly, my prediction for this, Ottawa is going to win. And my reasoning behind that is Kingston, although they have a strong defense, they have one offensive line. You shut down that line, you're going to win this series. The Bushwookie line is literally the only line that will do something against this Ottawa team. And I can tell you that from playing them. So in my eyes, Ottawa's got this game in 6. The series, 6-game series, Ottawa's taking it.
Last but not least, Wilson.
Yeah, it took a little while to get to me.
Hey, you've gone
Stayed
early.
there too long. Anyways, Kingston, obviously, when you want to put this in a perspective of days that they have not played hockey since in LG for a game, a scheduled game, Kingston's been off longer than the Ottawa team. The Ottawa team played all the way up until Wednesday. Kingston played all the way up until Tuesday. That's a 1 day difference if we're going to put it in that perspective. I mean, in this case, Kingston might have to take a game to get themselves acclimated into this series, and maybe this could be a win or lose, but hopefully they'll be able to steal game one if they put their if they're focused enough. Obviously, being off for X amount of days, well, one more day, a break than the Ottawa team, that's going to really change things. But I think Ottawa could take game one, obviously, through the factor that Ottawa's played 1 day more than Kingston from games in LG's perspective, not anything outside. We're not accounting for that in this case, but that's what I think off of technical things. Anyways, this is gonna be the defense wins games. Like I said at the beginning of the season, if you can't have a good defense behind you, you're really gonna be letting in a lot of goals, and when that happens, that's gonna be what breaks your season in the playoffs anyways. I mean, well, these two teams are relatively good teams. Don't get me wrong; these are teams that I've, been that I've seen that my team has beaten. But obviously, I'm not going to say anything further on my own perspective. But these two teams relatively are good, and this could be a huge round 3 matchup to be who goes to the OHL finals.
You got a prediction?
My prediction. I'm gonna go and roll the dice here. I'm gonna say this goes to a game 7. Series is not gonna go away that easy. You gotta want it, and I'm gonna say in game 7, the winner from that is going to be.
And
But anyways,
drum roll.
yeah. Let's get a little drum roll. Ottawa in 7.
Okay, so I think we all here have Ottawa. So
No, Ralston's got
Ralston
Kingston.
picks team.
Oh, Ralston picked.
Ralston
He's
picked.
got Kingston.
He's the odd man out
He's
here.
got Kingston.
But I
He's got
did
Kingston
say
in 7.
I would not be surprised if Ottawa took Game 6. I just said that though. I did not say that it would.
Oh, you just now said that. Shut up, Ralston. Shut
Oh,
up.
shut up, you
Don't lie.
Alright, we'll move on to the Western Conference Series. This series is also going to be another interesting one. We have the number 1 seed, the London Knights, versus the number 3 seed, Flint Firebirds. So, we're going to start out with Whale fans, since he did not like going last on the last series. We're going to start
We should have just made him go last anyway.
Well, he said he didn't like going last, but then he didn't know who his team was going to be.
Yeah, exactly. See, we gave him more thought time.
Okay, well, we're going to sit you on a 1-spot timeout. We're going to go over to Simpson, because I know he's been riding high on the whole. We're going to go to Simpson.
You need to give Simpson some new knee pads for when he's in front of Plant,
Yeah, no, these are getting, my knees are getting hurt. My knees are hurting a little bit, guys.
Yeah.
But all right, this is going to be a great series. A high-powered offense and a solid defense. This is going to be one of those series that's, I honestly believe, 7 games. Oh, you made this? Yeah. You're awesome. I got a muffin. Sorry.
Oh.
Anyway,
Come on, Fatty.
this is going to be an interesting series. Flint is going to have to stay focused. They're not going to have to. They're going to have to quit talking shit. If they don't like what we're saying, then so be it. I read all of it. You're going to have to quit talking shit. You're going to have to play your game that is showing right now on the ice. You're going to have to play defense, and you're going to have to score. And you proved you could score last series. London is going to come at you, and they're going to come at you fast. They're going to come at you hard, and
Gotta be ready.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be ready. You cannot sit back. You got to take that game that London plays and shove it right back down their throats to be able to beat them. I'm going to go 7 games, and I'm going to say if Flint can figure out a way to shut up and play a hockey, they win in 7.
Bold prediction there, I think, really. I know, I think personally, I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Will Fan, but I think he'll be in a series, and it does really come down to who can really prove what on the ice, to be honest, and show it physically. So, Whale Fan, I'm going to give it over to you. Your timeout's over. Go ahead and speak your vital words, my friend.
What is it?
Series is London, by the way. So.
Yeah. Flint versus London, and this is the quarterfinals in the Western Conference. So,
Anyways.
not the Q.
Anyways, London and Flint. Flint's really gonna have to get their act together, and I mean, obviously they swept the series. London, from technical standpoints, has played one more game than them before they were off to the next round. So London will be ready to play. And they're probably going to be. This is going to be their real test to know if they are that Memorial Cup team that's going to go play a Q team and go out there and win. Simple as that.
What's your prediction for it?
Prediction here. I think London's got this one in 6.
I'm actually going to go ahead and say my prediction as well, and I'm going to agree with Whale Fan. Flint and London, they're both really talented teams. I think we all expected them to be able to do pretty well in the playoffs. But honestly, I just look at London, and it's just so hard for me not to go with them, to be honest. That's no discredit to Flint. That's no disrespect to them at all. They're a solid team. A really solid team, but I just look at London up and down, and I just look and it's just like, how can you really bet against them, to be honest? So I'm gonna say London in 6. Marina, what do you think?
I also believe London in 6. I love the matchup of a high-powered offense with a very solid defense. It's an amazing matchup, but we also forget that London also has great defensemen on their back end and good goaltending. I think if Flint wants to win, they have to change the way they play. And I think that's with every team that plays London, that you really have to change the way you play in the defensive zone against them. Really good puck moving defensemen can really just find the space and take the opportunities that are given to them. I think London wins in 6.
All right, Wilson.
I mean, I agree with everybody. It's gonna be like a really good series, all depending on how Flint plays. Because, like I said earlier, the way they played in the Saginaw series, like the offense showed up, the defense did good, and they were able to sweep them. They're going to be going against a much more well-rounded London team that, to me, like I said, I would not be surprised if London is not in the finals. Flint, to me, the only way they're going to win this series and the only way they're going to take this series deep is if they actually have a full team defense, full team offense, and they just keep playing solid and not allow, if they lose game 1, they got to come out in game 2 like it's a game 7. That's the way I feel. Like they got to play every game like it's a game 7 that they can't lose. And I think that Flint could have a chance in this. But with London being as good of a team as they are, I honestly feel like they could end Flint quicker than 6. They could do it in 5. So I'm actually going to say London in 5 over Flint.
Alright, last but not least, Darth.
I'm gonna for disappearing, but my input on this series is, although Flint's a well-rounded team, London's taking this. No doubt in my mind, London is taking this series. It's gonna be a good, well-fought series. It's gonna be a good series to watch, but it's gonna be London taking this in 6. I believe London's taking this in 6. Because London will walk all over that J-Dubs line easily. We'll just walk all over that J-Dubs line. We'll shut that line down. They'll shut down their second line, and the only real challenge will be Kingston's first line and their D pairs. That's about it.
So, what did you say your prediction was again?
London in 6.
Okay, so so just so I remember this, Simpson had Flint in 7, Marino had him in 6, Whalefin had him in 6, I had him in 6, Rolston had London in 5, and Darth had London in 6.
I had London in 6.
Oh, you had London in 6?
Yeah.
Everybody but me, again, is picking London. So.
Well, it's not even anything against Flint. Like, I know Flint's a solid team, but then you look at London, it's just like it's.
No, it's just you fuckers want to disagree with me. That's all it is.
No,
No,
really.
okay.
London. Okay, look at London up and down, and tell me one thing that there's a weakness on that team. I'm just saying, tell me one weakness you see on that London.
Let's just put it this way, Simpson. We only have one pair of knee pads, and you're the one that wears it for Flint. So.
Hey, choo motherfucker! I'm all aboard.
The thing with
Hey,
thing with London is, and I said it in the GM chat during the Sault Ste. Marie series. Aja asked if that was his top line or not that he played against, whatever night that was.
The Bladen Fish line.
And he said, and Crib said, I don't really have like a top line, and I responded with, he has 3 top lines. Like that team's.
They're
that
solid
team's
all
too
around.
good.
Yeah, they're just solid everywhere.
Them and Marino's team probably the 2 West-rounded teams in this league, in the CHL for sure in my eyes. Both 3 top-line teams.
And I completely agree with that. And honestly, like even just to give a little love to the Q, you could put Armada really in that conversation of being really well-rounded.
The Armada though, honestly, going into, I don't really want to talk on the Q, but when it comes to the finals, we already know who's gonna win. In all honesty.
I wouldn't sleep on the Q too much. They might pull a surprise, but that's something we're going to have a whole other episode.
Yeah,
I'm sleeping on the Q. I'm sleeping on the Q. Don't even sweat it.
Don't sleep on the Q too much, honestly.
I'm napping. I'm napping on them.
I'm gonna take like a 4-day snooze on the queue for real.
There's only one pair of knee pads, and Simpson already has those on. They're all sweaty and shit from the past 3 weeks that he's had them. So I don't want to wear them.
Yeah, they're a little.
Don't sleep
Hey,
on
they're
the
a little
queue.
worn in, boys. They're a little worn in.
You need to buy some new ones, man.
Wow, they're comfy.
Yeah, I can see that. But,
sorry.
guys,
In the budget, we only had enough for 1 pair, and we can keep them.
Yeah, I'm poor, man. Come on.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks to everyone for watching. Any final thoughts from the panel?
Shout out to Audacity for sending in that complaint.
Oh.
Yeah, huge shout out to you, bud. Audacity, huge shout
I
out to
honestly
you.
did not want to
Thanks.
say anything on that.
Thanks.
I'm gonna say something about it. I think Audacity's scared.
I mean,
Only thing I have to say
I
about
think
that,
Audacity's scared.
only thing I have to say on Audacity reporting is that thanks for it, but I didn't need it. I already knew who was gonna win that series. I didn't know who was gonna win. It was gonna be a good series, but I don't need the system's help to win a series. In all honesty, if my team wanted it, we would have came out, but we just didn't want it, I guess.
That class act again, boys.
Yep. Round of applause there.
I just think it's funny the way he went about it.
Well, that's the thing. You know?
Oh, it was hilarious.
To be honest, I mean, like a lot of people said, if Ottawa said something about it, that's different. But
You mean Pete's?
some
You mean
buddies
Peterborough?
But yeah.
Yeah, Peterborough.
Peterborough. Peterborough said. Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, Peterborough said something about it, about the thing. Then fine, be it. But anybody else saying, it's basically it. Obviously, it wasn't something that was that big of a deal to happen if the team that was playing against didn't say it. So honestly, someone else coming in saying, "Oh, hey, blah blah blah, this happened," it's really not needed, to be honest. If they would have said, "Hey, you know, hey, Darth, this is happening. You should do something about it," then okay. But to sit there and be like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna report this."
It's funny. It's funny you say that because in the beginning of the season, one of the managers, I want to say it was Mercy. If it wasn't Mercy, sorry to Mercy, but I think it was Mercy, messaged me saying that North Bay had an illegal line in like the first week, and he was like, take what you want, So
Yeah,
I think it's different when you have like BMW in the forums and other people in the forums saying that Audacity didn't care that much. If he didn't care that much, he would have just told Darth and would have left it at that. The fact that he actually went out of his way to do it shows that he actually does care, which I think is funny.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It just there's really no reason for doing it. And to be honest, if you're management and it's not even your team that's even involved in it, it just makes you look shady as heck. It just makes you look like, wow, why are you doing that? What's the real reason for it? There's none.
I hate to cut out of here, boys, but I got a party to get back to.
Alright, we're just about to sign out anyways. Thanks to everyone that tuned in tonight. Thanks to the panel. Very much appreciate everybody's time in putting this in. Hopefully we get a round 4 semifinals episode coming out next week. Congratulations to everyone that advanced and to the teams that got eliminated on great seasons. And for Simpson, Marino, Whale Fan, Darth's window that we just saw for 5 minutes, and SGC Ralston, this is D-May just signing out, wishing everyone the best of luck on their respective series. We'll see you guys next week.
Quick note though, it's a nice window. It's all wood. It's an all wood window.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All wood. That's beautiful. That's
all wood. Beautiful.
One note to throw onto there though about the queue. If the queue wants to be talked about,
do your own show.
Either they could get their own show, or you could give us some information, let us know,
or just come on,
I was actually talking to
We'll give you a segment. You can talk about the queue. We'll involve
Ozzy, and when your season's over with, man,
look, I think this is the
Niagara will definitely play you.
And I actually want to speak on this real fast before we do sign off. I know everybody thinks that the OHL just has this huge, just shit kind of deal with the queue, but realistically, that's not even it. I don't know if people think we have something against the queue. I don't know what it is. I don't really have enough time to try to go around searching around like a search dog for what it is. I just am going to say this. If you don't like that we aren't doing the queue, realistically, it's probably because we don't know enough about the queue because we're not in the queue. And the fact that we aren't in the queue, and I personally have never been talked to by anyone from the queue to represent it, there's not really much we can do because we can't spend 2 hours searching around on a bunch of the streams and stuff to really know much about them. So realistically, I'm going to leave it as an open invitation. If anybody that's a queue manager wants to come on and represent them, I'd be more than willing to do it, honestly. I have nothing against anybody in the queue. I have major respect for them. Why do you think I just said don't sleep on them? Because they have a good team or two over there. They have a couple good players.
Yeah, but to be honest, it's better to say nothing than to say something wrong about and yell at for them. So.
Yeah, it's better to say nothing than to say something that's completely inaccurate, because I'll ask this. Would you be mad if we said something that's complete bullshit about your team, or if we just said nothing about your team?
Exactly.
Yeah, for what happened to ending the show? Jesus, we just ramble on another 5 minutes.
Anyway, end the show.
Damn it, Ralston, your old ass. Ralston's old ass is getting us fucking rambled on because he's old and elderly and it has nothing to do but be at home and lonely.
I may be old and elderly, but I still look a lot better than your troll-faced ass. So shut the hell up.
Hey, don't make me get the step stool.
Oh,
Bring it.
damn.
Bring the
Don't
ladder.
make me get.
Bring
Don't make
ladder,
me get the
boy.
step stool. I
Okay,
have to get the 40
Alright.
foot.
That's
Third
we're
time's
shutting this
third
down.
time's the charm.
Third time. Bye, everybody.
Third time's the damn charm. For the panel, for everyone, thank you guys for supporting. Congratulations to the winners. Thanks
Cheers.
to the team for great seasons. B Major and for the rest of the panel, we are signing out.
Oh
See
wait,
you all
I have one
next
last
week.
shout out.
Stop.
I have
Oh
one
my
last
God,
shout out. One last shout out. One last.
God.
Huge shout out to Vatty for not making it tonight. We all know your girlfriend said you couldn't come. Okay?
No,
Don't give me credit lie.
Vatty didn't.
We're done.
No,
I'm
that's
done.
not even it at all.
Show.
That's not even it at all.
Get in the
Vatty didn't
show.
want to argue with me.
Don't worry, Darcy. Get the battle on the basketball court next week.
Yeah.
I can't. My NBA's broken.
Oh,
Oh shit. Alright.
God,
I'm out, boys.
For the
Golf
fourth
course.
damn time. Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. We're signing out. Dark, you can't say another damn thing.
we'll be back
We'll see
next
you
week.
next week.
Spawn